a world on the edge of change. Picture yourself standing on a windswept plain, the air sharp with the scent of pine and damp earth, the horizon glowing faintly with the first light of dawn. Above you, endless stars blaze in a sky untouched by city lights. Could you survive in a world where every sunrise demanded your strength, every choice tested your wits, and every night forged unbreakable bonds with those beside you? 10,000 years ago, at the twilight of the last ice age, our ancestors lived in such a world. A place of raw, untamed beauty, relentless danger, and the first sparks of human ingenuity that would light the way to our future. Their lives were a tapestry of courage and necessity, each thread a story of survival against a planet in constant flux. What would it feel like to walk in their footsteps, to carry the weight of their world on your shoulders? Their triumphs and struggles still whisper to us, carried on the wind, under those same endless stars. Section 1. The Melting World and the Call of the Horizon. The Earth was alive, restless, reshaping itself. For nearly 100,000 years, the last ice age had gripped the planet, cloaking vast lands in ice as thick as mountains. But around 11,700 years ago, a subtle shift in Earth's orbit tilted the balance, coaxing warmth from the sun. Glaciers groaned, then retreated, their meltwaters surging into rivers and seas that redrew the world's edges. Doggerland, a thriving land of forests, rivers, and plains connecting the British Isles to northern Europe, was slowly swallowed by rising waves. Families who chased deer across its grassy heartlands stood helpless as the sea claimed their hunting grounds, their homes, their memories. Each tide erased another piece of their world, leaving only whispers of a lost land. Imagine Kael, a young hunter with calloused hands and sharp eyes, standing on Doggerland's shrinking shores. His clan depended on the deer herds and the fish darting through its rivers. Every dawn, Kael scanned the horizon, his heart heavy with one question. Would the waters spare their home today? His mother, a weaver of reed baskets, taught him to read the tides, while his father sharpened flint blades for the hunt. Have you ever faced a change so vast, it upended your entire world? Kael's people had no choice but to adapt. They moved inland, their footsteps crunching on unfamiliar soil, their stories of Doggerland's sunken plains shared in hushed tones around crackling fires. Their tools, flint knives honed to a razor's edge, bone needles for sewing hides, antler harpoons for spearing fish, were extensions of their will to survive. They built shelters of wood and hide, sturdy against the howling winds of a warming world. Each day was a dance with nature, a delicate balance of skill and hope. The horizon called, not just with the promise of new lands, but with the challenge to endure, to carve a life from a world that refused to stand still. What would you carry with you if your world began to slip away? Their resilience, born under those endless stars, set the stage for humanity's next chapter. Section 2. Europe's Innovators and the Dawn of Conflict. In Europe's dense forests and frost-kissed tundras, the Maglemosian culture thrived, their ingenuity as sharp as the tools they crafted. These weren't mere wanderers, they were master artisans, shaping flint into blades that gleamed in the firelight, carving bone into needles delicate enough to stitch hides, and crafting antler into harpoons that pierced the toughest hides. Picture a Maglemosian craftsman, his fingers steady despite the cold, chipping a spearhead so precise it could fell a deer in a single strike. Their nets, woven from plant fibers, snared hares darting through the underbrush, while their boats of hide and wood glided silently across lakes. Could you craft a tool from stone and bone to stake your survival? In Scandinavia, the Kamsa culture pushed into the Arctic Circle, their wooden paddles slicing through icy waters as they hunted seals and fish along rugged coasts. Imagine the courage it took to navigate those perilous seas, guided only by the stars and the rhythm of the waves. On the Iberian Peninsula, the Azilian culture left their mark in vibrant rock paintings, scenes of hunts, dances, and sacred rituals etched into cave walls. Their harpoons, intricately carved, were both tools and art, each curve a testament to a life woven with meaning. But beneath the endless stars, peace wasn't guaranteed. In a Spanish cave, a painting freezes a moment of chaos. Archers locked in combat, their arrows arcing through the air. This wasn't a simple hunt. It was a clash for survival, a hint that competition for resources could spark violence. Genetic studies paint a picture of two groups: darker-skinned, blue-eyed Western hunter-gatherers, and lighter-skinned, brown-eyed Eastern hunter-gatherers. In Poland, the Swiderian culture wove these groups together, their semi-sedentary lives centered on hunting deer and elk, aided by loyal dogs whose barks echoed through the forests. Further east, along the Volga River, the Shigar culture carved the Shigar idol, a towering wooden figure adorned with enigmatic faces, its presence a bridge to their spiritual world. Let's return to Kael, now a young man among the Swiderians. His dog, Shadow, bounds ahead, nose to the ground, tracking an elk through tangled woods. By the fire, Kael listens to an elder recount the tale of the Shigar idol, its carved faces said to hold the dreams of the clan. As he sharpens his flint blade, Kael wonders what it means to leave a mark that endures. If you could carve your story into wood, what symbols would you choose to echo through time? Section 3: Western Asia and the Seeds of Civilization. In Western Asia, the earth itself seemed to hum with possibility, its fertile soils whispering promises of a new way of life. As early as 23,000 years ago, in what's now Israel, people knelt in the dirt, tending wild grasses with care, their hands coaxing life from the land. By 15,000 years ago, the Natufian culture had taken root, their limestone and mud brick settlements rising like beacons of permanence. Imagine the pride of a Natufian builder, stacking stones under the scorching sun, or the quiet joy of an artisan carving the Ain Sakri lovers, a figurine capturing the tender embrace of two figures, a symbol of love etched in stone. Between 11,000 and 12,000 years ago, a revolution unfurled across the region. Wheat and barley sprouted in neat rows, legumes enriched the soil and animals. Pigs, goats, sheep, and cattle bent to human will. This was the dawn of agriculture, a shift that tethered people to the land. In Jericho, round houses clustered together, their walls adorned with intricate patterns that danced in the firelight. At Göbekli Tepe, massive limestone pillars, carved with foxes, snakes, and enigmatic symbols, towered over the landscape, a testament to a people who dared to dream beyond survival. In northern Iraq, copper gleamed in the hands of artisans 10,700 years ago, its luster a hint of the Metal Age to come. Picture Ayla, a Natufian girl, her hands dusted with earth as she tends the first wheat fields. The sun beats down, but each green shoot feels like a triumph, a promise of meals to come. At dusk, she joins her clan at Göbekli Tepe, her breath catching at the sight of its towering stones, each one carved with stories she can't yet decipher. What would it mean to build something that speaks to the future, long after your voice has faded? Ayla's people, with their courage to plant, to stay, to create, sowed the seeds of civilization under the endless stars. Section 4: Africa's Green Heart and Shadows of Conflict. 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was no desert, but a vibrant Eden. During the African humid period, lakes shimmered under the sun, rivers carved paths through lush grasslands, and the Nile Delta pulsed with life. The Capsian culture thrived here, their stone tools slicing through gazelle hides and hair pelts with precision. Their cave paintings, at the Cave of Swimmers and Tassili Anager, brought their world to life. Antelopes leaping across rock faces, rivers flowing in vibrant ochre, human figures dancing under a sky ablaze with endless stars. Each stroke of pigment was a prayer, a memory, a story for the ages. In West Africa, ingenuity flourished. Pottery, fired 11,400 years ago, held grains and stews, while the bow and arrow born here revolutionized both hunting and conflict. At Gabero in Niger, over 180 graves reveal a people who mourned with care, their burials adorned with offerings for the journey beyond. But peace was fragile. At Naderic in Kenya, the bones of 27 people, struck down in a brutal assault, tell a story of violence that rippled through their community. What sparks conflict when survival already demands everything? Imagine Zuri, a Capsian artist, her torch casting flickering shadows as she paints a gazelle on a cave wall. Her hands tremble, not from fear, but from the weight of preserving her world for those yet unborn. By day, she hunts with her clan, her arrow finding its mark. By night, their stories of rivers, stars, and fleeting peace bind them together. If you could paint your life on stone, what moment would you choose to immortalize? Section 5. Asia, Oceania, and the Americas: Stories in Stone and Soil. Across Asia, Oceania, and the Americas, humanity's story unfolded in countless hues. In India, at Murgar, wheat fields swayed under the sun, and cattle grazed in pens, domesticated as early as 10,500 years ago. The Bhimbetka caves glowed with paintings of hunts, dances, and rituals, each image a heartbeat of a vibrant culture. In Southeast Asia, chickens clucked in early farms, while Negrito populations thrived on the Sunda Shelf, its islands still above water. In New Guinea, the Cook Swamp's drainage systems hinted at early agriculture, a testament to human ingenuity. Australia's Aboriginal tribes, their boomerangs slicing through the air, told oral histories of submerged islands, their voices carrying memories across millennia. In East Asia, rice fields bloomed in China's Pearl River Valley, and Japan's Jaman culture shaped pottery with intricate cord-marked patterns. Siberia's hunters tracked mammoths, some surviving on remote islands until 4,000 years ago, their tusks gleaming under the endless stars. In the Americas, the Beringia crossing was a fading memory, but small boats and winter ice kept connections alive. The Kennewick man, his bones marked by a life of hardship, and the La Brea woman, preserved in tar, tell of survival against the odds. Bison hunts, copper tools in the Great Lakes, and Dalton Points in the Southeast shaped new ways of life. In Mesoamerica and South America, pumpkins, maize, and potatoes fed growing communities, while Patagonia's Cueva de los Manos bore handprints that still speak of connection. Picture Tala, a Jaman potter, her hands shaping clay under a starlit sky. Her fingers weave patterns that echo her people's bond with the land, each vessel a story of resilience. Across continents, others like her, hunters, farmers, artists, crafted lives that resonate still. What mark would you leave to tell your tale to the future? Conclusion: the endless stars and our shared legacy. 10,000 years ago, under the vast canopy of endless stars, our ancestors forged a path through a world of ice, fire, and boundless possibility. They tamed wild grasses, painted their dreams on stone, and built the first fragile steps toward civilization. From the haunting faces of the Shigar idol to the vivid handprints of Cueva de los Manos, their stories of resilience, creativity, and connection endure. They faced the unknown with courage, their hands shaping tools, art, and communities that echo across millennia. What fuels your courage to face the uncertainties of your own world? Their legacy lives in the fields we sow, the stories we tell, and the stars we still gaze upon.